Okay, I'm gonna continue on this drawing a little bit. This is gonna be step 2. So right now I'm using an HB pencil, okay? And I'm gonna try to add some texture to maybe the potato, since I started that for you guys. And once again, I'm doing a lot of hatching right now. If you look at the way that I'm making my strokes, I'm trying to stress hatching rather than just rubbing your finger on it or whatnot. I don't really love that. Like on the side here, where it starts to go down the slope, I'm going to change the direction of my hatching a little bit. And I'm going to follow that shape or follow that form and make it go down. Now, since I'm using a HB pencil, it's a little bit softer, so it will move a tiny bit. Let's see, we've got that little button here. And just because I made my strokes that way doesn't mean I wouldn't necessarily make crosshatch strokes going that way. And maybe stretch them over the top a little bit. See how even and smooth my line is? That oval's a dark spot. Another indentation. Watch how I sell that. I take the kneaded eraser and go around that edge. Move it away. And all of a sudden it becomes about a condition of light getting in there and kind of like wrapping it a little bit. Because the light's coming down from the top. When I get to the lid area of the potato right here, I'm gonna switch my pencil out. I'm gonna go from an HB, I'm gonna go looking for that 2H again that I had. Here it is, it's a 2H. And I'm putting pressure on it. It's still hatching. Curve that form. Went back to the HB because it's darker on that side. I want to take that double edge off here, so I'll soften it a little bit. Take the hard eraser now. I'm gonna use that one. Go back in here, peel it back a little bit, clean it up. Give it one line instead of like 3 or 4. Now I'm going to switch to something a little darker, a 3B with a little more reach. I'm just stippling a little bit, you know, just tapping with the white eraser just to clean a spot out. I didn't like it. It was too linear. I want it a little softer. Just a little bit of a reflected light right here on this side. I think I'll try that with the kneaded eraser. Just pick it out a little bit. Not taking it all out, but keeping some of it. I think I'll use the white eraser to clean that dark line out, and boom. I'm gonna move over to the tomato for a little bit now. And once again, I can probably turn this all. I'll go back in here just for a second. I'm gonna use something softer for the tomato because I'm gonna wanna move the graphite. I'm using the one with the long reach. Keep my hand off my drawing. Now, I didn't obey my own rule, but I know I can get away with it. See, I was a little bit straight there. I don't want to really be straight there. I'd rather be wrapping it this way. Curve it a little bit. And I'm letting my pencil lines extinguish. I go from here, where it's dark, to there where it's light. So I'm just following what the object's telling me. It's gonna be lighter up here than it is down by the core shadow. I'll have to put a little bit of a reflection in underneath here because there's something that's picking up a little bit off the inside of the ceramic bowl. But that's how I do it. And then I'd go back in with like a 2H pencil if I think that's a little wide. Maybe I'll go over it this way a little bit. Go back in with that. Now, I'm adding another layer of cross-hatching to the potato, just because when I was looking at it, I noticed that it's a little bit lighter around this edge. So what I'll do is I'll drag this through, stipple it, baby. That'll give it a little more of a reflected edge. And I'll round your form off a little bit. It's a 2H. That's the bowls casting a shadow right now. You know, I'm not afraid of going in and just cleaning up like this too. Like I just made some pencil lines, but I'm gonna draw over the top of them. I'll erase over the top of them and then draw after. So it's already softened up a little bit. Then I'll go back and do exactly what I just did. Back to the tomato. That's the direction that the tomato's going. That's the way I want to make my lines. Just look at your object and think about what it's doing. Don't overcomplicate things. Form a shape in your head and then treat the line almost like string and then wrap it all the way around the form. In some cases, there might be an edge that's a little too dark. So I'll take the shadow and I'll actually drag it across the edge, like of the potato, and it'll make it softer. A little bit of reflected light underneath it. Look at how bright that got because the eraser was clean. When the eraser's got a little grit on it, it'll stay a little darker, a little dirtier. I'm not afraid of doing this either. Running the eraser back and forth. Go back over it. Because I made that point, I can stay way out here and make my marks. I don't have to go in here and then get that all over my hands. I'm still getting a little bit of it on my hands, but I don't have to get a lot of it. Different texture. You know, I'm softening my lines up just a little bit. I still want to keep the cross hatching, but I don't want to make it too smudgy. You know, and I told you guys not to smudge at all, but I want to get the texture of the tomato as best I can. Keep pushing till it's even. If you see it a little lighter, go back over it a couple times. Choose a pencil that actually makes it balance better. Look at how even that's starting to get. If it's got an indentation, then it's probably doing something circular around it, like that. So that's, you know, taking it a step further, giving you an idea of how to tighten the drawing up a little bit.